Hello everyone, and welcome to my Date and Dine Mall series. In today's video episode, I'm bringing you guys to the Curve at Damansara. So this is a very matured mall, and I'm here today on the weekday. It's around 12:30 p.m. So as you can see, the foot traffic here is relatively quite low. And even though it is on the weekday, I think back before the pandemic, the Curve is more bustling as compared to now in 2025. So far as I witnessed the ground floor, there is almost 100% retail occupancy on the ground floor, so it looks quite healthy in my personal opinion. However, in terms of the foot traffic, it doesn't look very encouraging. If this sort of foot traffic were to continue for the next 1 to 2 years, there is a possibility that the Curve might lose its appeal. That is my personal opinion. I don't know if you agree or disagree. For your information, I do come to the Curve quite occasionally, not specifically to the Curve, but more or less to IKEA. So once we are at IKEA, generally since the Curve is just next door and they have a link bridge and the underpass, whatever it is just next door, and it's quite convenient just to walk through after we shop around in IKEA. And generally come here just to continue our shopping. Overall, if you look at the Google map, the Curve has a few shopping malls, I would say, that is interconnected or just next to each other. The obvious one will be IKEA, which is a furniture mall, and next to it they have the Lotus, which is more or less a huge grocer. In actual fact, these three malls are sharing the same foot traffic, so they are quite interrelated. In fact, I like this idea where you have all the malls in one area so that the residents and also the people that come to mall, they don't have to drive to different locations to have a different experience. But sadly enough, even with this sort of concept, we're used to be very effective to actually attract consumers to shop in this area. Nowadays, due to online retailers which are taking a big chunk of the sales and also the foot traffic from the actual mall to the comfort of the consumer's home. So that affects a lot of brick and mortar retailers in terms of their business, and mall's foot traffic has dwindled quite significantly because of that. Personally, I don't know if this trend will continue to stay as is or we see a shift back to brick and mortar, but looking at it in a very realistic manner, I believe that we are heading towards total mall closure in the future. This is my personal opinion. What do you guys think, and do you share the same sentiment? Write in the comments down below and tell me your thoughts about it. So before we proceed further, I like to put a disclaimer that this video that I'm recording for the Curve is for your entertainment only. It's not meant to be any facts or truth. This is based on my experience during the day of my visit at the Curve, and also apply to my other Date and Dine Mall series videos that you're watching in this channel. So that's out of the way. So I hope you enjoy this video thus far, and if you do, smash the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, as this is the best way to support a small YouTuber like me to grow this channel so that I can produce more interesting and entertaining content like this in the future. Now this is the outdoor retail section. During the recording of this video is during the Ramadan period, so they are setting out stalls even on a weekday. So with that, you will get more crowds than usual. Maybe towards the late evening, you should see more people coming here. But generally towards the weekend, the foot traffic on the Curve will be more than what you're seeing now in the video. The outdoor area has two floors. One is on the ground floor and one is on the first floor. The outdoor retail outlets on the ground floor has some retail outlets that are completely vacant, but as compared to the first floor, there seems to have more retail outlets that are completely void. From my observation, the first floor, the outdoor area, we are looking at around 70% occupancy. So it is not as what it was used to compared in the days where this place is absolutely bustling with foot traffic and retailers. This section on the ground floor, where is behind the Kenny Rogers, you have the most retail vacancies available. This is called the Asian Courtyard, but just look at the number of retail lots here that are completely void. Just by looking at the numbers on the ground floor, I'm estimating it's around 80% of the retail occupancy. It is still okay, but considering this is a ground floor, and maybe because due to the name The Curve, I have higher expectations since this mall was extremely bustling before the pandemic era. As you can see, even a prime location retail mall is also struggling to maintain 100% retail occupancy. Right at the end of the Curve, there is this mall which is permanently closed. I couldn't remember the name of the mall. It used to have cinema there. For those who remember, do write in the comments down below and tell me what the mall is called, and I'll share with our audience here what happened to that mall exactly. This is the first floor. So far, as you can see, the foot traffic here is kind of low, even on the weekday lunch hour crowd, and even on the weekend. The foot traffic on level 1 is slightly above average compared to what you're watching now in this video. But overall, the retail participation who are currently operating is still hovering between 80 to 85%, which is decent. The advantage of this mall is it does have a link bridge to IKEA, and another advantage is there is a MRT station and also the bus stop, which is located within walking distance away. So in that sense, the Curve have the advantage in terms of public transportation, and overall the demographic of the Curve consists of very good mixture of middle and upper income. Surrounding the Curve, there's a lot of landed residents. Not to mention that next to the Curve there's a hotel, which brings a lot of outstation tourists and maybe from the overseas as well. And surrounding the Curve, there's lots of condominiums and service apartments. So in that sense, this area is highly populated in terms of resident density. However, there is one caveat to everything, because there's this One Utama which is extremely close by to the Curve, and One Utama, which is one of the major center of gravity. So the Curve will have to rely a lot on the foot traffic from IKEA. That's my personal thought. And close by there is this mall which I recorded some weeks back, which is called the IOI Mall Damansara. And that mall was previously owned by Tropicana. Now, since under the new management, I think they may have a very good chance to revive it. That's my personal opinion based on their track record in the malls they have managed. So if you haven't watched that video, I'm going to share the link above. And after watching, remember to share your experience and thought in the comments down below for that video. In terms of design, the Curve have a hybrid type of retail experience. They have the indoor with fully air conditioned, with the center court that gives a lot of natural lighting, and you get the quadruple volume, and also the outdoor experience where it is totally depend on the weather. It was kind of an interesting concept back at the time where they implemented it, but off lately, because the weekend flea market for the Curve is not doing that well as compared to when it's first initiated. So that, I think, drives the foot traffic down considerably. That is my personal opinion. So what do you guys think about that? Write in the comments down below. Tell me your experience and input in regards to that matter. In terms of the walking flow, there's a few sections where it's kind of isolated, but overall it's still decent in my personal opinion. But generally, in terms of the walking flow, it's still alright. Right now I'm on the second floor, and this floor where it consists a lot of skincare and beauty retailers. But even the mighty Curve has seen its better days. As you can see, there are many more retail outlets here that are completely void of any businesses. As I recall, during its heydays when they are doing very well on the weekend flea market, this place is extremely bustling. Surprisingly though, IKEA is just next door. They are finding it very difficult to sustain the foot traffic. As you can see based on the video right now during my recording, and it is 1 p.m. in the afternoon, where it's supposed to be the most crowded time for mall due to its lunchtime. It is completely void of anyone except 1 or 2 people here. Besides the skincare, beauty salons, retailers, there's a carpet retailers, and of course the furniture shop. And this is one of the tail signs that the mall is heading southwards, I believe, to most of you that are viewing my video for a while. Not saying this is a fact, but it is one of the indicators. Literally on the second floor, I'm one of the few people who are actually walking here, so it's kind of quiet. During the weekend, however, I believe the foot traffic will be much higher compared to what we are seeing here. But I have been here in many occasions, even during the weekend, and to be honest, the foot traffic for the Curve is not what it was used to be. But I do hope that they can improve and get their act together, and maybe relieve its past glory. The positive part about the Curve is that on this floor they have Mr. DIY Plus, and they have the Daiso. So these are the two major retailers that take quite a big portion of the second floor, not to mention the furniture shop, which is the Maju Homes. So overall, based on my observation, the total retail outlets that are operating on level 2 is hovering between 70%. So it's still alright for this mall, but compared to what it was, it has dropped quite significantly. And most of the foot traffic on the second floor are being pulled towards the Mr. DIY and the Daiso side. Well, it's obvious these are the two main attractions in the second floor. As for the parking of the Curve, during my visit here on the weekday lunch period, there are plentiful of parking spaces, and I did not even venture to the basement 2 to find a parking slot. And the parking spaces in between the cars are a bit tight to my liking, but overall is alright, even you're driving a large SUV. Overall, the lighting in the parking is decently well lit, and also it seems that they have a lot of EV charging stations here. Overall, the entrance and exit to the parking is quite easy to navigate, so there's no issue there. So that's all for the curve video. I sincerely hope you enjoy it. Make sure to like, share and comment the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, consider subscribing, as I love to have you as my subscriber. My name is Chester Cheng. I'll see you guys in my next video. Cheers guys.